What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to tonight's late night news roundup, where as well as taking you through some of the embargoed section of Arne Slot's pre-Wolverhampton Wanderers press conference, we're going to tell you what Inter Milan defender Liverpool have been linked with, and no, it isn't Alessandro Bastoni. We're also going to give you some stats around Virgil van Dijk, showing why, in our opinion, he should be given another contract extension, and lots more over the next few minutes. You know the drill. I want to know your thoughts, so please feel free to let us know in the comment section. Drop a like if you enjoy the video, but most importantly, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We have just launched our brand new March giveaway, as promised, with thanks to our friends at the collectorscorner.co.uk. We are giving away a signed Kenny Dalglish framed shirt, completely free once again. Scan the QR code below or use the link in the description to enter this giveaway. And again, thank you so much to our friends at the Collectors Corner, where you can also get yourself 20% off anything store-wide with our discount code Anfield Agenda 1. Right, let's kick off with some of the quotes from Arne's pre-Wolves press conference. He said, explaining why Liverpool will remain aligned to FSG's transfer policy, he said this: "We have our own model over here, as I said many times, and our model is that we sign young players. It's normal for younger players that they have to adapt usually more towards the Premier League than if you sign players that have already played in the Premier League, that are 27 and are already at the end of their physical growth. But it's exactly the reason why we have our model, because we believe that players can get better. This club has shown that we can achieve things as we did 6 years ago and last season with our model." Now look, if you look at that in the cold light of day, you can understand where he's coming from. But it's difficult to digest that as a Liverpool fan when you've won the league last year and we've brought in some quality players this year and we felt like we went backwards. Even the style of play isn't one that is enamouring him to Liverpool fans right now. But maybe you think differently, and if you do, please do feel free to let me know in the comment section. I haven't got much patience for Arne, if I'm being really honest about it, but I do want the best for Liverpool Football Club, and I'm more than open to being wrong on this. I can't see it as of right now. We'll have more quotes from Arne coming up in a little while, but do let me know your thoughts on that. I am understanding of Liverpool having a model where they bring in young players, but it's about staggering it. And you could say that perhaps Hughes Edwards were unlucky that they came into the club and inherited a bit of a mess. That doesn't really fill you full of confidence about moving forward, though, because, of course, FSG were the owners during that period as well. And why did it get to the point where we had to make so many wholesale changes and it wasn't staggered over a few seasons? I'm already waiting for the words of excuse to come out next summer after we make more signings. If we don't hit the ground running, well, there's the excuse trotted out straight away. Well, we brought in more players, and how many of those years are we going to have? Because there won't be a summer where you don't bring in new players. I just don't like the excuses that go with it. And the expectations were that we competed this year. We competed for the Premier League. We competed to defend our title. And we've been really far removed from that. Now, look, I want to move on to something coming from Italy, from Tudor Mercato Web. They say that Liverpool still hold an interest in Inter Milan right-back Denzel Dumfries amid long-term concerns about the current options in the position. Let me know your thoughts on this one. I think it could be genius. I really do, but I don't know whether I believe it or not. A lot of the stuff coming out of Italy linking Liverpool with players has tended to be absolute garbage. But Denzel Dumfries, experience-wise, ticks that box. Talent-wise, ticks that box. And I wouldn't say no if it was to cover on both sides, if it was to give us another option, if the club didn't want to give up on Conor Bradley just yet. But how realistic is it? I would say probably not very. Moving on now to Football Insider, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news on this one, so I'm going to refuse to believe it personally, but they've said that Dominic Szoboszlai is open to a future move to Real Madrid, with the switch described as a career dream. The Liverpool midfielder is said to be keeping the door open for Los Blancos. Why is it that they didn't want him when they had the chance? This is what winds me up. If Madrid think that highly of him, well then why didn't they pay the 60 million quid release clause to sign him when he was at at RB Leipzig? They didn't, we did, and Liverpool have developed him. So I hope and very much believe that the club will tie Dominic down to a new deal, and I think he's a future captain in the making. So for me, I understand that growing up he would have supported Real Madrid, but right now he's a Liverpool player and he's idolised by the Liverpool fans, so hopefully he stays here for the foreseeable. Right, let's move to Vacajes.com, who say, in the ranks of Liverpool, Cody Gakpo stands out as a stellar option for the attack of ... Atletico Madrid. So it looks like Atleti lining up a potential move for Cody. We've talked about Bayern Munich having an interest in Cody Gakpo as well. So let me know your thoughts on that one. There's been lots of stories linking Gakpo with a move away from Liverpool. I just don't know where the club stand with it and what the likely outcome is. So, another quote from Arne Slot here on his Wolves press conference. He said, "A rebuild takes time. A transition takes time. And that's what we did last summer. But we didn't expect the league to become like it did this season. You couldn't know this because last season it wasn't as extreme as it is this season. That is usually what happens. If a team has a success in a certain area, then it's being copied. 10 to 15 years ago, a lot of people wanted to play like Barcelona. You're one of them, Arne, and you still want to now, and you keep rabbiting on about it. But either way, let's move on. The Prem is powerful in that sense that every ball is being kicked forward, especially in the beginning of the season. Here it comes, especially against us. That has settled down a little bit, in my opinion. In the first 10 games or something, it was just long ball after long ball after long ball, direct style. But here's the thing, Arne. You say that like we aren't set up to defend a long ball after long ball after long ball. Look at our defenders. Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahim Konate. Here's some of Virgil van Dijk's stats from who scored. Clearances, 215, ranking first. Clearances per game, 7.7, ranking first. Aerial duels won, 136. You know where I'm going with that. Aerial duels won per game, 4.9. Passes, 2,144. All from the team that were being bombarded aerially with long balls. Well, we're well set up to deal with them. So if anything, that should have made our job a little bit easier around it. But it was in possession that our problems really came. And as somebody pointed out to me in the late night agenda, they were at the game of the weekend against West Ham, and you could drive a bus through the middle of the midfield. And that's been something that I've been saying on here for a long time. So I was glad that somebody who actually went to the game, seeing it from an elevated position, had the very same feelings I did and Jamie Carragher did and many others. Liverpool are just too easy to play through. Right. Jeremy Jacquet will undergo surgery after sustaining a serious left shoulder luxation, which is apparently a dislocation. So somewhere between 3 to 6 months there for him. That's not great news for Liverpool, but if he can be back for pre-season, hopefully fully recovered and rested up, well then we'll take it from there. Ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much it from me for now. But as always, appreciate your support. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Drop a like if you have enjoyed this video, and we'll be here tomorrow, 7 p.m. for the watch along of the Wolves game. A reminder, it is an 8:15 p.m. kickoff. Conor will have a 10 a.m. video in the morning. I'll have one early afternoon. Until then, thank you so much for your time as always. Look forward to reading your comments, but I want to see you here tomorrow night, bright and early, 7 o'clock. Let's go. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.